Hello guys, and welcome to a new Wargame Red Dragon video today by me, Vulcan. It's been a while guys since I've done a Wargame video. I think it's about a month actually. But here I am again with another replay commentary for Wargame. This game was actually played on the same day as the last one I released on the channel, which is quite funny, but I'm actually releasing the videos a month apart. That's not intentional, it's just that I kind of got sidetracked with everything else I was doing on the channel. I've been very busy moving house, as well as starting up my streams and doing all the Warhammer 2 content. So yeah, I'm sorry about that guys, but hopefully once I have my schedule back on track, I will be able to pop in Wargame more frequently. I can't really say how frequently, it'll probably be like once every other week or so, but I still plan to have some Wargame on the channel, and this is proof of that. So in this one I'm going to be playing with the Eurocorps. We have Val on the Commonwealth, I think, and then we have Holly, who is going to be using the USA division. So we're all our team. I believe we were playing against a team as well. Gorn, Tianek and Ferdinand, even if they're not a team, they are pretty highly ranked. First lieutenant and a second lieutenant there. They know what they're doing, and that's all that matters. So, going to be going pretty hard in this one. It was an extremely fun game. But let's go ahead and get the speed up, because the deployment was actually relatively long. And this will give us a good chance to have a look at the jolly good units of Wargame Red Dragon. It's been a very long time since I have sort of jumped into Wargame like this, and it's always nice to have a look at like the Bradleys and the Challengers and the Abrams and all the good stuff that comes with the Cold War era equipment. It's pretty damn badass, and I love it. The thing is with Wargame, it's just a completely different setting to so many other games, and it still looks absolutely gorgeous. I believe the Steel Division graphics, they're just different in a way that makes them look a little bit more realistic, but like this, you can't say that this doesn't look damn good. Like, it's just so nice. Good old Abrams there, followed up by a Centurion Mark 11. And I will be zooming into the action quite a lot throughout this game. So the idea that we had was they wanted to double push on the left. That was Holly and Val. They're going to be pushing up onto the left side into Gulf. Meanwhile, I'm going to be pushing into Foxtrot and just holding that with a bunch of ATGMs. Val's going to be capturing the right side. Well, actually, I'm going to be capturing the right side with the VABPC, and then he's going to be bringing in some reinforcements there to try and hold back the opponents. But let's just put this to my point of view, and we'll see exactly what happens. Now, I think since I've been playing Steel Division a lot, I actually value Recon a hell of a lot more than I used to. It's kind of interesting. So I do have my Recon up here. They're going first, and they're going to be providing Recon for all of these HGMs. We've got one on the right side here. We've got one going to the left side. I've got some infantry coming up as well, just to hold the center, because this is the +2, and if they're going to attack anyway, here is where it's going to be. Crotal's going to end up shooting down that Recon helicopter, so that blinds the opponents for just a little while. Val's SAS have got up into the other side of Gulf. Their links did get shot down. We see the OT-64C trying to get across the open there, and that's going to get blown up by my HGM Milan F3s. They also have line of sight onto the Tatra 142s, so we're going to take those out as well. And the VABs, they are just evacuating. We do not want them to get killed off for free, so they are getting the hell out of there, as there are a bunch of HGMs in that center town. So Holly's brought over a longbow, and Val's units are getting into position. And this is a very unorthodox thing to do on this map, but we were having a lot of fun with a Wargame on the day. And generally what you would do as this side is push towards like Delta and Echo, because it's a lot easier for you to like reinforce that. But what we decided to do instead was push to Gulf and maybe try and get through to Charlie and capture their reinforcement point. But it seemed like the opponents had a similar idea to sort of fend us off here. They had quite a lot of units on this right side, and my T-2013s on this right side get absolutely mashed by these T-72s because I didn't unload them in time. But yeah, like, we're pretty safe to hold them back on this side, and we were going to go for the push on the left side, but they are definitely reinforcing that very quickly. MiG-29 going to be coming in, shooting down one of the planes we had in the backside there, but we're going to return the kill. Su-22 Seria going to go down to the Tornado F2 and the Stormer HVM, so already some serious air engagements going on, and it's just crazy how lethal these aircraft are. So the XA-185 KT is coming in hot, but we have a Tiger Had brought in on the right side from myself to stop those half-tracks in their track. They're not half-tracks, they're more just APCs, armoured personnel carriers. We have the Milan 2 squad there doing the job as well. Now, you may have seen that I rushed over all of my VABs and the M113s over here, and that was just to provide a little bit more support on that right side. And in the mid, plenty of Panzer Grenadiers, not really doing too much. Obviously I was kind of expecting the push into the 2-pointer, but it didn't actually come to fruition. So we're just looking at the engagement on the left side here. However, things haven't really gone very well, as you can see. There is plenty of dead units, including the ADATs there. We've got the dead Challenger 2. That Aslav is going to go down. And I believe Ollie's Abrams was lost along the way as well. So I'm pretty much the only person with units on the map at this point in the game. I'm going to be bringing in some reinforcements for the right side, as we don't want them to push from Echo too quickly. I'm making sort of a ground push here with the Panzer Grenadiers, trying to get across into this land here and maybe take the center town. It's not ideal that we take the center town. It just stops them having HGMs there. Like, it's not important for us to make this push. I don't really want my Panzer Grenadiers to attack me, I'm just actually having them run straight towards the enemy infantry, and in close combat they should be able to do the job. Unfortunately for us, there is a Pruskom Nisi squad there, which does have a Dragunov and is absolutely sniping to pieces my Panzer Grenadier squads, so you can see they are going to die as they continue that push, but may as well do something with those Panzer Grenadiers, otherwise they're just going to be sat in Foxtrot all game long. And there we have it. A couple of mortars coming up on the right flank. We've got obviously the reinforcements coming in towards Gulf. Since this is very lightly defended now, multiple Canadian rifles sitting there behind, or in front of their TH-495 half or APCs, but yeah, the enemy has a lot more, and if they started to push with these M84s and the T-72 M1 Wilks, they probably would have just run over that left side completely, but fortunately they didn't. It's just an absolute graveyard here. Look, there's the Abrams. There he is. That's the Bradley. Just got absolutely wrecked. Now, one of my Panzer Grenadier squads actually did manage to get up into this town, which was quite something. I really didn't expect that to happen. Drop 2 at the back there, gonna get wrecked by the Milan F3, which was funny. But Panzer Grenadiers hitting the Pez there quite nicely as they come into range. Also got the mortars coming in from Holly there, the LAVM helping out. Now, since the Strop 2's dead, I can bring in the Tiger Had. Now, there is these past Pragas that are going to do a lot of damage to my Panzer Grenadiers, and they are actually anti-air units. However, the Tiger Had is going to be able to pin that down, and we do have the HGM Milan F3s to do the job as well, so no problemo. Going to be taking that out. So the Tiger's used up all of its ammunition once again. Going to go back to base and pick up more of its 68mm rocket pods. Really do love helicopters. They definitely do the job. Now, any Canadian rifle squad that's revealing itself is getting popped to pieces by these M84s. They have 4 HE apiece, and the T-55s are not very helpful as well. And these Bradley IFVs, they do have TOW-2 missiles, so hopefully they can take out the enemy units there. There's also a couple of small squads now from Holly, so they should help out. But I've arrived with a couple of chasseurs now. They're supported by the AMX-13 VTTs, and we're going to be moving in, taking out the enemy infantry squad there before they can pick off those APCs, so that's good. On this right side, it's just going to be Val spreading out with a bunch of Milan 2s to try and kill off any vehicles that get in his way. I've got a bunch of infantry hanging out in this forest area, but other than that, most of my reinforcements coming across to take this centre town, and the whole idea of this was to basically secure our push towards Charlie. Now, in a game where, you know, we're proper tryharding, you'd probably just keep Gulf sort of contested and maybe try and push elsewhere after your initial attack failed that bad. But in this one, we just wanted to go hard or go home. We wanted to try and take Charlie. So I was trying to secure the centre town so that Holly and Val had the pressure taken off them a little bit in order to continue pushing up again. And Val's bringing up a Challenger 1 Mark 1, which should be able to help deal with the M84s. Chasseur is still doing a fantastic job here, actually trying to take out the Conquer's M squad, because taking that out will definitely give us a nice amount of points. We also take out the APC back there. I let my own get killed as there is a bunch of infantry in this town area. We still have those Pez there and the Pruskomnisi. But at least with those chasseurs in position, I know that there's not going to be too much in this town that's actually too threatening, and I can continue to sort of reinforce in that direction. The only issue of me doing this is that now all of the players are starting to focus on this left side. Well, we've got Tionek and Gorn so far. On the right side, that's going to be where Ferdinand is playing with all of these T-72s against those Milans, which Val has now lost. He's brought in a couple of these recon Spartans. They've dropped off the SBSs. The SBS are going to be jumping up onto Echo there. Kahu is brought in, takes out the T-72S, but gets shot down. Ito 90s are going to be doing the job. Now, they are playing a lot of the DLC divisions on the enemy side of things, so we weren't really in for too much of a fun time when it came to our own divisions. I think especially the Commonwealth and USA kind of fall off quite hard towards like Yugoslavia and so on. But either way, T-72s, they're going to end up taking out Val's Challenger 1. M2A2 on the flank here, trying to get into position to use its TOW-2. We've got MiG-29 912A with the 4 thermobaric napalm bombs coming in, and they're going to absolutely wipe out the infantry that is in that forest there. You've got to love, absolutely love the units that we have access to here though. Just all of the units, no matter how like old they look, are just so damn awesome. Mi-35 up here, that's absolutely rocketing the crap out of my chasseurs. We have the APCs there, the BTRs coming up. Actually, they're the XA 185KTs. They're going to be slamming the Panzer Grenadiers, but the Crowtail's coming up. Goodbye to the Mi-35. Fantastic. More reinforcements on the way. Of course, I do need to be a little bit careful of this XA-185 though, and they are going to be able to hit my Crowtail and kill it off before my Milans get involved. It's a little bit of a mistake on my part. I have the Rafales coming in, and that's going to be flying back out as I don't find any targets. And on the right side, things have calmed down. There's not too much of a push coming through on this right. We're just trying to push elsewhere. HGM Milan F3 squad trying to get the kill onto the XA-185KT, but it is going to miss. See if we can follow the next missile in. Got one coming across the field there as well. Looks like they're going to continue to miss. Great jobs, Milan. OT M60P trying to get across there. And the Milan F3 letting me down once again. So I've got a VAB PC coming in. That's going to be trying to capture Gulf. Of course, there is the rocket artillery coming down, and that's actually causing us quite a little bit of problems, stunning the smalls and the green jackets and so on. The XA-185 here, this is the KRKK with the grenade launcher, so those green jackets are going to get absolutely slammed. Smoke does just sort of land in the way in time, but they're stunned, and they are going to get pinned down. At that close range, LVTP should be able to return the kill, but the green jackets did die off. My VABP is still alive, so we're able to pick off the, well, get the extra point there, sorry. Just too busy concentrating on those tornadoes. I lose both my tornadoes there, the Tornado IDS and the Tornado ECR. The ECR just getting shot at the last minute as it flies overhead. I believe it got hit by this ROM. It shot one of the ROMs, but then my opponent, I believe, microed this ROM really nicely, turned off the radar, turned it back on again, and they got the kill. They also had a Sava here as well, so that didn't help. But the IDS dropped its bombs onto this sort of forest area in order just to clean that out and leave us with just this area as the big threat. But so far, it's not too bad. We're still winning by 98 points to 65 in this conquest game mode. The overall points to win is 500. Points working obviously a little bit differently in Wargame as they do in Steel Division. But ideally we would have had this VAB PC in Gulf earlier, so that we were securing the points more early in the game, because that would have definitely helped us out later in the game. The LVTP alongside the Challenger 1 Mark 1 going to be able to pin down some of these Yukari just before he gets killed off. And one's going to be forced to fall back as the Vihor comes forwards. Chasseurs just about remain alive. MX-13 VTTs just going to get away with staying alive as well. So you can see when things are getting bad because people use a lot of smoke, and that there is another plane going down. The Nighthawk just getting absolutely wrecked. Tornado F2 is coming over to the left side to try and shoot down the MiG-29 913. But Val's going to have that shot down as well. And my Rafale, that's hanging out right at the back, just waiting for enemy strike aircraft to come in. But yeah, loads of planes going down. It's been an absolute meat grinder so far, both sides sort of pushing backwards and forwards across the open here. Look at the amount of wrecks. We've got the XA 185 KTs there pushing this way, and then on the opposing side we've got Bradleys and Abrams pushing the other way. It's really crazy. There's so many like wrecks in this area. It's nuts. Now if we go to the neutral perspective, you can see that that plane is going to get shot down. The Rafale is in position here. Gorn Sava did not fire at my Rafale, so going to get away with that quite nicely. Yeah, still Gorn and Tiranek pushing on this side. Alan, Holly trying to do their best. I of course have brought up my own small amount of reinforcements because I'm mainly sort of controlling the centre. I did end up getting pushed out of this town when they absolutely charged me with a bunch of the XAs with the Pansari Yukari. There's not really too much I can do about that when I have like depleted units of chasseurs and Panzer Grenadiers left over. But on this right side, Ferdinand, I don't know what he was doing. I think he was just taking a nap maybe. Wasn't content in pushing up anyway. And that literally allowed us to just completely neglect that right side. Because if you look at the map in general at this point, look how many more units they have than us. We're still content on going on for this push towards Charlie, even though it's completely futile at this point. They could have just rolled us into Juliet. Like all those T-72s rolling forwards, especially with the Tatras like absorbing HGMs in the front. Would have been easy, but they didn't go for it, and that kind of let us get away with it, I guess. Now at this point, unfortunately, we're ceding a +1 to the enemy. That's going to be because there is a T-72 tank there, as you can see, at the back, which is causing issues. Leopard 2A5 comes in, picks off one of the T-72 M1 Wilks, takes out the second one there. That's just so many wrecks. And it's just so cool now. Look, we've got a dead Abrams facing one way, dead Wilk facing the other. Artillery is going to be coming in onto this tree line as they do make that very large push. And what I'm doing here, you can see this Mi-8KT is actually really close to the ground. I'm going to be fire positioning it with the Leopard 2A5, and the HE damage from the Leopard 2A5 kills off the Mi-8KT. That's just so funny. Going to be seeing what looks like a Raven. Actually, no, that's a MiG go down there. MiG 27K, I guess, coming in to kill off the Leopard 2A5. Get shot down. Rafale hanging about in the sky, of course, and we've got a couple of Crotals on the way to support the push on the ground. So with me reinforcing this left side, it gives us a little bit of room to work with. We've got AMX-10 RCs moving forwards. They're pushing through, maybe try and take out these prams. Meanwhile, the AMX-13s pushing in front of the chasseurs. They're trying to make ground into the backside of this objective. Now, there is quite a lot here that we're going to have to deal with, especially all of this infantry down here. But either way, just hoping that these AMX-10 RCs can pick up those prams, and that they do. Super Galeb comes in and takes out the 2A1, however. Actually, what did that take out? It was actually a Challenger. Never mind. One of Val's Challengers going down. Does have another one on the way though. Challenger 2. Leopard 2A5 alongside the MX-10s going to be hitting that infantry. The M1A2 Abrams is in a bit of a tricky spot there. But we do have our infantry slowly arriving. And at the moment, the pressure's on. Adding to the vehicle graveyard down here as our infantry continues to press forwards. Look at this glorious battlefield. We've got the VAB there firing away. Got the machine gunner of the chasseurs getting involved, along with the chasseur 85 and one of those tanks. We take out a couple of APCs that we're defending. We are definitely starting to make some ground with the help of the LAV-M back here, the mortar LAV. We are able to pin down and kill off a lot of this Yukari. Su-22M4 Seria comes in, does pick off my Leopard. Fortunately, doesn't hit the Challenger 2. The push kinda stalling out now. We have killed off a lot of their infantry and we might be able to take control of this little forest area, but as you can see, there's plenty of tanks coming on the other side of things. So although we've kind of forced back and killed off their command to make it even, this is no closer for us being a win. And on this right side, as usual, nothing going on. Ferdinand still taking that lovely little nap. However, Ferdinand now has sort of come over to this left side. He's actually brought himself a T-72 M2 Moderna over here. Rafale makes the Super Galeb run away, and a shot from the Rafale onto the other aircraft there, not going to land as it manages to evac in time. Wolverine spam coming in and taking down the Mi-35. Chasseurs still engaging the Yukari, and we now have some Canadian airborne to help us out. Things definitely coming to a head as we are butting all 6 players against each other on this left side of the map. It became an absolute bloodbath. We have Gorn, Tienek and Ferdinand, myself, Holly and Val, all playing on this left side, pushing against each other as hard as we can. Val still hanging about, just is still pushing forwards. Canadian Airborne trying to get involved there as well. There we go, they've arrived. Oh, the vibrations there. That's not very fun to look at. All that smoke support and mortar support coming in from Holly. Really nice job keeping these T-72s at bay. Now we have the smalls coming up. The M1A2 here is pretty low on fuel, but still pushing up as well. I've now brought up a Leopard 2A5s to help out. And we also have some HGMs on the way. Now continuing the pressure in the centre a little bit, a couple of chassis running across with the AMX-13 VTT. We have the MiG-29 912As coming in though, and they're going to drop their thermobaric bombs and wreck our infantry that was in the enemy tree line. Su-22 M4 Celia going to be hitting the 2A5 in the front armour. Going to have to fall that back and repair it now. Strop 2 comes into line of sight of the M1A2 Abrams, decides that's a bad idea, reverses straight away. This Strop 2 is jolly quick. I think it has 100 km/h speed off-road, which is pretty damn good. MiG-23BN going to be going down, as it does absolutely slam another unit on the ground here. It's literally just a graveyard down there. Just the amount of units that have been killed in this area is just absolutely nuts. But we're going to keep pushing. M1IP Abrams being pushed up by Holly. We've got the AMX-10 RCs coming up as well. We've got more infantry arriving in the form of these Canadian rifles. And I've got a couple of Leopard 2s on the way as well. Super Galeb going to be taking out one of those M1APs. Now the T-72 going to be coming in there and hitting them as well. Yeah, that's the second one going to go down. The engagement still continuing. With the Leopard 2s supporting these Canadian rifles, we can actually rip to shreds their infantry quite easily. Rafale's going to be shooting down the MiG-29 912A there as well. Does still manage to drop its thermobaric napalm, however, and that does slow us down quite significantly. Super Etendard, oh, beautiful double strike coming in. Super Etendard now does have those 2 shots, so took out one T-72 here, takes out another one over here, the T-72 Moderna. Absolutely fantastic strike by the Super Etendard. I brought it in from the left side, made sure it hit the side armour as they're all sort of facing towards this engagement. Now we have the rocket artillery coming in again. Basically a smirch doing its job, slowing down this engagement. Because we are starting to get a bit of an advantage here. We have obviously taken the other side of Gulf now. The main issue is it's not affecting the conquest points. Longbow there going to be taking out one of the tanks, which is quite a nice quick kill. And the Kahu going to be missing both of its shots onto pass Bragas, which is definitely interesting to say the least. Now I've only got one Leopard, well my Leopard 2s on the right side died, the M1IPs died, so we're relying on the Leopard 2A5 at the moment to push forwards and sort of lead the charge for our infantry. Milan 3 does go ahead and take out, I believe that was a Vihor on the right side, which was absolutely fantastic. Longbow's going to be slamming more of those T-72s as well. And that's going to be another one pretty damn low on health as it pulls back into the smoke. Now the Brom going to be hit by the Milan F3 as well. Super Galeb going to be shot down by my Rafale. And that Rafale, what a fabulous job that was doing throughout the game. This time round getting very close to being shot down by all of these Cubs that have been brought in as reinforcements. Super Etendard does come in, takes out the Sava, but does get forced to evac Winchester. Fortunately for me, his AA there had run out of ammunition. So now we have more smoke coming in to stop their tanks from firing into this engagement. That's going to allow my Marder 1s and Deckens Grouper to try and take on these Proletary 90 and the BVP M80As. Now Deckens Grouper, not the most ideal infantry at this point, but I definitely think we were starting to run out. This game was just really fun, just like throwing units at each other on that left flank. All players on the opposing side deciding to sort of do the same basically. So now we have like Gorn, Tyrannek and Ferdinand against us. Like that, it's just the meat grinder. It's just what this was throughout the entire game. More Deckens Grouper in the Marder 1s coming out to play. Going to be slamming those Proletari. And we still have an M2A or M1A2 Abrams here from Holly, but without any more support, it's going to be pretty hard. So I'm now bringing in the Leopard 2s and the Leclerc to help out. More heavy tanks on the way. Milan F3 still getting more tank kills. I believe that was another T-72 going down there. The T-72S getting killed off. We were really doing a fantastic job of taking out these heavier tanks with these HGM squads, especially as the smoke clears and we have all our HGMs into position. Found they're keeping that Milan 2 out in the open, and well, Challenger 2 at close range going to be popping that APC. Yukari on the ground there, not going to be lasting too long either if Challenger 2 stays on target, but Val's going to be falling that back for now, as there is plenty of tank presence, just waiting to get a shot into the fight. So we're now still sitting at the 98 points to 126, and like I was saying before, having the VAB PC in Gulf much earlier on would have meant we were way further ahead than we actually are now. Well, the Raven does come in, gets a kill onto one of the Cubs. The Cubs weren't turned off, so we're able to get a couple of kills there with the Raven. The third one is just hanging about now. I believe used up a couple of its ammunition trying to shoot down the Raven. Milan F3 squad still firing away. Going to be looking for the kill onto the M484AN or the ITO 90. Just that Spartan providing the recon there allows that HGM Milan F3 to get loads of kills. But my Leopard 2's arriving here. We have the Chieftain Mark 5s and Challenger 2 moving in with Val's next push. And we're hoping that with my Leopard 2s arriving in the Leclerc, that we can maybe push all the way through. Holly's sending forward his Humvees that have brought in some Ladsinger Cs. Also got a Patriot quite far back here as well. And Catty's come over to resupply the Milan F3 with some more HGMs. Leopard 2s now rolling across as fast as they can to reinforce this quick push. So Hawk 51 coming in with the two 500 kilogram bombs. That's going to get shot down. Saw the Su-22M4 come in with the two 1,000 kilogram bombs as well. That just about gets out of there before my Rafale gets a second shot off. As you can see, Lekkepotter on target. They're going to get ripped to shreds by the Leopard 2 and the Leclerc. The Mancati, just after resupplying the Milan squad, is there to see them die as they get slammed by the M84AN. But our mass is definitely starting to build up. With the amount of tanks we have here, we're doing pretty well, and I managed to get that tank kill there. We get the Kahu to come in and do some damage to F111Cs coming in with their bombs. Going to try and do some damage as well. Both of those get shot down. And my Leopard 2s on the right side, they get killed off by the enemy tanks. However, we have definitely returned the favour in kind. Challenger 2 there picking off another tank as it tries to retreat. Again, another tank graveyard being formed. It was just absolutely mental. So many tank corpses all over the place. And now we've stopped their attack on Gulf entirely. So where do we go from here? Well, we've got to go take Charlie, of course. That's what the plan was initially. So that's what I was going to try and make happen. The Leclerc trying to get the kill onto the Vihord there. Actually doing a reasonable good job. Takes it down to 3 health. They're now reinforcing with their own 80 gems. Just to make it as hard as we can. Or hard as they can for us as we push across. I brought up a second Leclerc now. Ollie's brought up these M163 CSs. He's also got the CEVs here, which have the nice high HE rounds. Leclerc's picking up a couple of these BVP kills, which is good. Gets rid of a couple more Malyutka missiles that might be a bit of a threat. And now there is 4 minutes and 45 seconds left on the clock. Nothing to lose, really. We're just going to go for it. Going to push on forwards. Holly leads the charge with his LVTPs and the CSs. My Leclerc comes over to try and get a shot onto the M84AN. That's not going to work out. Su-22 M4P comes in to try and shoot down or shoot some of our radar, but that gets taken out by the infrared AA. And now we have our planes overhead, waiting and ready to kill anything that wants to destroy our tanks. So a MiG-29 912A. Do have the Rafale in here. I'm going to be trying to get some shots off onto the MiG-29. But it does manage to get away. If both of those shots had landed, that would have been definitely a dead tank. But that's dropped a bunch of napalm. Did kill off some of the infantry, I think, but most of the tanks managed to get out of it as we're continuing to push forwards here. The Leclerc pushing forwards. I've already lost one of my Leclercs. Challenger 1 Mark 1 is going to be hit pretty hard up there in the front line, but the Mi-35 should be shot down by the Wolverine, and that's exactly what happens. The enemy artillery is coming in to sort of stop the shots onto, or to stop the push coming out of my infantry. Raven comes in, gets another shot off. Rafale's going to be on the back of the Su-22, and that's another kill going down there. It's Rafale throughout the entire game, just doing a fantastic job. And with the smoke wall now there, my chasseurs are actually getting dangerously close. We also have Val bringing up a Lynx AH-7 with some command infantry to try and capture Charlie, or at least counter-cap Charlie, and stop them bringing in reinforcements down this road. Because at the moment, we're reinforcing from all the way down here to try and push against them reinforcing from here, which is why, you know, normally this is completely illogical to try and go for this push. But somehow, after a very long game, 43 minutes later, we've actually come out and managed to get all the way into Charlie here. Now with the HQ section being landed in the smoke, we're hoping that that's going to be enough to prevent an airstrike from killing it, but I mean that is based on such a low, high chance. Like this HG-22 M4 coming in with 2 1,000 kilogram bombs. Goodbye to the HQ section. It was a nice try, but it didn't pay off. 2 Tornado IDS is going to be brought in. Their infrared missiles actually shot down the enemy aircraft there. I'm going for the double bombing strike. Unfortunately, for some reason, I believe the Tornado IDSs didn't actually drop their bombs, but yeah, I was just trying to find their command, really, to do the same job as before. Because we're now on 106 points, the enemy's 125, and this is where those extra points, again from Golf, would have come in handy. Because now it's like a draw, but if we'd been collecting points for a little bit longer, it would have been even better. Super Etendard comes in, that takes out the Igman, takes out the Strop there as well. Does end up getting shot down by the Sopels that are brought in as reinforcements, but what a jolly good job we've done so far. Val bringing in another Lynx AH-7, MiG-29 912A coming in with the thermobaric napalm. It's actually going to land right underneath the Lynx AH-7, and the Sopel's going to be finishing it off. The smoke not coming down quite in time. Green jackets now being used to push up as well. You can see how desperate this attack was. There just wasn't enough infantry, that we're using recon now to try and make ground. I've got this Leclerc rolling up. Holly's M1A2 Abrams here is sitting without fuel. Just, my lord. What an absolute massacre this has been. 9 seconds left on the clock. Just all of these little black dots that you can see, they're all wrecks. They're all tank wrecks and APC wrecks. What an absolutely crazy, crazy game. 40 minutes and a minor victory for our opponents. What a nuts meat grinder that was. 10,494 kills between us and 10,000 losses. It doesn't get much closer than that in terms of such a long game, in terms of kills and losses. I actually went quite positive in this, 4,600 kills to 3,165 losses. Val going negative, he lost a lot of planes unnecessarily, I feel, throughout this one. And Holly there going even. Gorn lost a lot of troops. He was probably their most, or their weakest player in terms of rank. I'm not entirely sure how many sort of games he's actually played overall, but still pretty negative KD. Tianek pulling his weight with 5,097 kills. Unfortunately, we can't really see any of the kills and losses at the bottom, but that would have been probably pretty epic, especially seeing the amount of kills that the Rafale picked up throughout that game. But hopefully you guys enjoyed it nonetheless, and I hope to do more Wargame in the future, so look out for it on the channel every now and then. That's all for now though. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next video. Goodbye.